What is up, fight fans? I am Jason Burgos. I am joined by a fighter who for a long time was labeled as one of the elite prospects on the Bellator roster. However, he has now transcended that to become one of the elite fighters on the entire roster. In November, he punched his ticket to the finals of the promotion's featherweight Grand Prix, where he will meet either division champion Patricio Pitbull or Emmanuel Sanchez soon enough. And that man I speak of is the one they call the Mercenary, aka AJ McKee, Mr. Mercenary, sir. Thanks so much for the time today.
Oh man, thanks for having me.
Now, a bunch of questions, so I'll get right into it. Now, I read your recent MMA Junkie interview and how you talked about how you really weren't maybe fully invested in your career early on, those early years, early 20s and stuff like that. And it took some time to kind of get on the straight and narrow. Being a professional athlete, making good money, being on television, it's not things that are normal for a person in their early 20s as they mature into adult. There's a lot of easy pitfalls, growing celebrity, going down dark paths you never can come back from. Was there ever a point where you thought you might be close to the edge of like going down the wrong kind of road? And how much did things coming so easy in fighting and winning your first 4 fights in the first round maybe kind of like set a wrong example where, from what's required of like an elite level athlete all the time?
For me, I would say just coming off the jump, knowing how good I was, and then coming in making so much noise and it not getting any recognition or just like, you know what I mean? It just being swept under the rug. I don't know. After like 6, 7, 8-0, I'm just like, all right, well, what the hell? You know what I mean? What's going on? Like I'm running through people, and then I don't know. It's just life, you go through some things. You want to hang out with your friends in the clubs and you go party, have a good time. But I would say the big key for me was it always showed in the fight, it always showed in the fight. So it was going back and figuring out what was going wrong and why my fights were being difficult when they should be easy first round finishes like every other fight. So yeah, it was really just going through, breaking down and analyzing the fights. A lot of the fights, it was either missing camp, not training, partying, or just didn't even train, just wanted to go fight. And then there are some fights where it's like, I didn't want to fight at all. I'd be sitting on the stool and I'm in the fight. And this dude, what was his name? Woods. Woods. I was looking across at him, and dude just looked like he wanted to completely kill me. And I'm sitting on this stool, and I'm just like, I don't even want to be in here right now. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And my dad's like, hey, like, wake up, buddy. And so it's little key checks like that in life. You know what I mean? And after that, the Brian Moore fight. That was my first main event fight. So like, I didn't want to pull out of that, but I really didn't train for that fight. So I finished him in the first, and then he woke up from the guillotine and I ended up catching him in the third. So like, I made that fight way harder, even though I technically stopped him in the first and then the third. Like, I had to fight another 2 rounds. You know what I mean? The whole second round was rough because I wasn't in shape. You know what I mean? So it's just little pull-throughs like that. And it's like, I know at the end of the day, whenever I step in that cage, I'm like, at the end of the day, it's just like Gladiator Roman days. I'm fighting for my life. Like, I'm trying to get that person out of there as soon as possible, So, yeah, it's me fighting for my life in there, and it's like when you're prepared for the job, it's easy.
In an ESPN interview you did last year, you mentioned and you said in the point of it, I'm fascinated with money. I like to spend it. I like to look at it. It's what motivates me in a sense. Now, the money making window in this sport varies for everyone, but overall it can be short. Exactly, very short. So taking winnings, investing, being smart for an MMA fighter is necessary because you guys aren't making NBA and boxing kind of money, but the idea of a charismatic 25-year-old man saving and investing seems almost counterintuitive. Did your father, who had a very long career, get in your ear early, making that money, make it work for you long term, or do you have big business plans if you win that million, or is it about the bling, the clothes, and living your best life right now?
I think it's a little bit of everything. That's life, you know what I mean? Everything you have to have within moderation. You have to be able to control yourself, and you know what I mean? I wouldn't spend 18 grand on fucking chain. You're like, whatever. That's probably the dumbest fucking move ever at the moment. But at the same time, that was my reward to myself. You know what I mean? So like, I can do stuff like that. But at the same time, like, my dad's always, he's the businessman. He's always encouraged and motivated me to make my business moves before my pleasure moves. You know what I mean? So sometimes I go on my little spurts of impulse and splurge a little bit, but for the most part, you know, when I win that $1 million, I got a lot of plans. You know, I want generational wealth. I need residuals coming in every month. I want my family to be taken care of. You know what I mean? I want my house paid off. I want my own spot. You know what I mean? Everything I just want to be content. Once I'm content and I can splurge without having to worry about it, oh, life's going to be great. And there's going to be a different level of AJ. You know what I mean? Because at this point, I already have my skill set. I'm still perfecting it. I'm becoming better at it, but I haven't yet got to relax and enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know how good I am. So I'm still proving. When I can think about what Anderson did when he sat back, once he figured out how good he was and he showed everyone how good he was, look at the shit he started doing in that cage.
Yeah.
What's up? But he was bored.
Yeah.
He was bored. Yep. And that's how he ended up getting caught. You know what I mean? Showboating too much. And hey, mess with the bull, you get the horn. So
I wanted to talk a bit about the Caldwell win. Darrion has had 4 losses now in his career, 3 by submission. Going into that fight, did you view him as someone susceptible to leaving limbs out there, maybe putting his head in bad spots for maybe too long? Or did you surprise him like you surprised most of us at home with something he wasn't prepared for and few dudes would be able to pull off?
Honestly, I was a little surprised at it, but that wasn't the goal. I never go into a fight really looking for a goal. I go in there with the intent, get them the hell out of here as fast as possible. Yeah. I was expecting to have a little more tussle on the feet, but I think when I threw that side kick and he felt the power, he was like, screw this, and he went to what he knows, you know, he went to a takedown. And I tried to stop it, but I mean, NCAA champ, you know what I mean? It's hard to stop somebody from doing what they've done their entire life. So, I just kind of went with the flow, sat to my butt, and I wanted him to open up. You know what I mean? I was trying to hit him a little bit, and I knew he was going to try to drop it over, elbow over the top. Like I knew that was the game plan when they got to the ground. So the second he did that, you know, I was like, all right, I got him. He's going to his game plan. If you flurry this real quick and then you can get something off, you know what I mean? So as soon as he threw the elbow, I'm like, all right, cool, boom, underhook. Because he didn't have anything after that. So he put his head on the side and I'm like, all right, cool. All right, underhook. Oh, well, I got this. Damn, he's a little loose. Like he felt like limber up top. So I'm like, all right, well, let me lock up the lower body. So I body triangled the legs around the waist and sunk the underhook deeper and then pulled a little bit, was trying to adjust. And then that's when my dad and everybody realized, like, oh, he's got it. Like, it's tight. So when I adjusted, they're like, squeeze. And I squeezed. And, oh. And yeah, mckee-otine it was.
Did that win, like, resonate for you and your career as it did with a lot of people within the industry and media stuff like that? Like, damn, he just subbed Darrion Caldwell, former bantamweight champion, like you mentioned, national champion wrestler, and made it look easy. Was that, like, a big moment for you that really hit home? Or maybe not as much as fans and media may think?
Nah, because at this point, I just feel like I have more to prove. I'm going to continue to prove more and more and more. It's nice to get the recognition, you know, all glory to it. I appreciate everybody for it. But now it's becoming like I have something personal to prove, you know, like the first fight with Pat. Okay. Oh, well, Pat's old. He hasn't fought. He's washed up. Okay, cool. Well, then you go knock Georgie out in 8 seconds. Oh, Georgie's old. He's on his way out. Okay, cool. Derek Campos is fucking just gritty beast. And that was just a brute dog war for what, 11 minutes? Yeah. And then Caldwell, like, I don't know. I'm just keep running through people, you know, that's my goal, you know, just whatever. Let them doubt, let them say this person, that person. There's always going to be something wrong with a person, but that's what makes fights. Yeah. Styles make fights. So for me, whatever, I'm going to just keep running through people. I honestly just enjoy surprising people.
Would you say that kind of opinion that people are going to always doubt it or, you know, diminish things even if it really means something, do you feel like part of your success and why you've done so well, is there a chip on your shoulder? Is there this chip on your shoulder that it's just not going to be moved other than maybe like winning a UFC title or something like that? Is that part of the motivation as why you've been so good so fast?
Definitely. I want to be the best in the world. I know I'm the best in the world. So testing my skills with where everyone says is the mecca of the sport, just PR wise, molding. They like before people knew what mixed martial arts were. Like people be like, "Oh, you do UFC?" No,
Yep.
I don't do UFC. I do mixed martial
Yep.
arts.
Yep.
But it just goes to show how new the sport is. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't familiar with it. So the branding, the marketing that has been done with UFC, yes, all the fighters, it's the mecca. That's where you want to be. You know what I mean? That's the limelight in the world. So yeah, I mean, one day maybe go beat some of them up. It's always a talking there, but currently I'm focused on what's ahead, and until then, I don't know. We'll see how things go. I definitely just got to get this next fight out the way, and I'm happy with the big collab with Showtime. They've been putting on great shows, whether boxing for years. They have their procedure. They know what to do. They have their their routine.
I'm sure Pitbull will be the favorite in his rematch with Emmanuel Sanchez, especially since he beat him the first time. But that was not like an easy fight for Pitbull. And I remember talking to Emmanuel, telling me, "Oh, Patricio went to the hospital after the fight. I didn't go to the hospital." So Sanchez is like just always been a dude that's underrated. No one beats him easy ever. Do you feel Pitbull gets the same result, maybe easier this time around? Or do you feel like because Emmanuel's so focused, such a tough fight, and Patricio's kind of talking about, "Oh, I want to fight Max Holloway, UFC crossover," do you think this might be an opportunity where he might overlook him and it could be an upset?
No. Actually I don't know. It's a fight. It's a great fight. Their first fight was close, but I wouldn't say he's overlooking him. Yeah. Me being up there and doing some PR stuff for Bellator and just getting some things together for the finals and the Grand Prix. They're fighting April 2nd now. So getting set up for that, seeing both of them speak upon each other and just seeing them together. I wouldn't say Patricio is overlooking him, but at the same time, Patricio has never gotten the respect that he deserves.
True.
In the sport. So I understand why he's capping over here too. Like, yo, y'all can get this too. You know what I mean? Because I'm the same way. What's up? Like, yo, y'all, we could run this at any point, anytime. Just give us the green light. But so I think it's gonna be a fun fight. It's gonna be interesting. I really don't care who wins. I'm gonna finish either one of them regardless. My preference, I prefer Sanchez to win, just so I can literally have ran through the entire division, received the 145-pound title with everyone's names on it, and then the 155-pound title I can go fight Patricio for, and that's the super fight everybody wants anyways. So I think it's inevitable for us to fight.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I saw you made a similar comment in like the media stuff after the big announcement thing they were doing. And because you've been calling for Pitbull fight for a long time, even before you were in this Grand Prix years and stuff like that. However, you also mentioned that media stuff, altercations and trash talk between you and Emmanuel that I didn't know about. How far back does the issues with you two go, and what were like these altercations between Emmanuel Sanchez and you?
So at like 9-0, we were scheduled to fight. And I don't know what happened. His coach told him not to take the fight or something. I don't know. Whatever. I signed a contract. I show up to fight. Hurt or not, whatever the case is, I'm going to fight. So he didn't show up. We ended up getting rescheduled. It wasn't him. The fight blew off. Then, I don't know. He comes out of nowhere talking about, oh, he wants to fight. He wants to fight. We were supposed to fight. What the fuck are you talking about, you dumbass? You know what I mean? Like, what's up? Like, so then I see him at Boise when I fought Pat Curran. And first of all, he's not fighting. Nothing's going on. And, like, you're talking shit to someone that's fighting. First of all, like, you're an idiot for doing that. Like, whatever your beef is, whatever your issues, like, he's got somebody else completely to focus on. And I'm not fighting you. Like, I'm grabbing the nearest weapon, homie. We're not in a cage right now. You know what I mean? Like, street fighting and cage fighting are two completely different things, dog. Don't get this cage stuff mixed up with being outside of the cage. Like, you guys are going to see a different animal I don't think you want to see. So I'm like, all right, cool. He starts tripping. Yeah, something. What are you looking at, boy? I'm like, all right, we'll deal with that later. And then I ended up seeing him at the Georgie fight when everyone fought. And, whoa, something. We'll see at the selection who you pick and da-da-da-da. And selection came down and we saw who picked what. And I haven't really heard much since then. So for me, there's no point in putting fuel on a fire that's not even burning.
Yeah.
You know?
Now,
I feel like the tournament kind of shows, hey, let's see who really wants to fight me.
yeah.
Which one of you really want this? Even though the belt's not around my waist, I've done my job and I've showed that I'm here for the taking. This is my show. So, regardless, I'm coming for that belt, and I need that check. Them 7 O's, 6 on the check, 1 on the record, man. 4 for 4 all finishes, dog.
Now, last question, and kind of circling back a little bit to the UFC stuff, because Dana White and the UFC brass have to be watching you closely. Maybe more than anyone in Bellator, you are UFC ready right now because of your fight style, personality, able to sell yourself. If you win this Grand Prix, you have beaten most of the top fighters in the featherweight in the featherweight division, 2 belts, be a champion in the division. So, like, what's the 5-year plan? Like, is the possibility of like 155, but what is your general blueprint of goals that makes Bellator say, yes, he will stay, and not, oh no, he's gonna leave soon?
Well, I don't know. Clearly I can't talk to Uncle Dana, so hi, Uncle, but you know what I mean? I love you from afar.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is what it is. Once I win the belt, I also have, so I don't, if I don't win, I don't even, fuck all that. We're not even going to go right. Whatever. When I win the belt, I have another 3 fights. So it extends my contract 3 fights. So it's another year. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to sit down and do some talking because, you know what I mean? 18-0, just ran through a tournament, just made $1 million, still undefeated. I don't feel there's any need to ever go back under $1 million. Like 12, 13 finishes out of 18 fights. Why should I? I just made $1 million. Why would I take a paycheck back going what I've already made?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We're going to have to sit down. We're going to have to talk, hopefully we can come to an agreement. If not, I don't know. It's fight life. You know what I mean?
You say that, like, okay, let's say you win the Grand Prix, you win the title and stuff like that. Like we talk about, there's a 155 title, doing that kind of stuff, champ status. But would you say that with those 3 fights left that come with being a champion, the contractual stuff, would the goal be kind of setting yourself up as arguably the biggest MMA free agent ever? Because at that time, you'd be, what, 26, maybe 27? Undefeated, maybe 2 division champion. That kind of stuff doesn't happen. John Jones didn't hit free agency in his peak. Every company in the world, especially UFC, would you say maybe that's the goal? After being featherweight Grand Prix champion, I want to be the biggest free agent in MMA history.
Definitely. I've never tested free agency. I've never really got to see what my value is worth. Obviously, if I don't like the numbers, then we'll have that would be the next goal, the next step. So I'm definitely kind of trying to weigh out my options and see where to go here. Even with another year, being 26, about to be 27, I'm peak of my time. Like you said, I think like I said, being the Floyd Mayweather MMA, to renegotiate and to test free agency, I think it should be one of the biggest contracts fucking around. I think it should be some shit to show this is a sport. You know what I mean? We're gonna show, like, okay, this is it. This is how we're gonna take care of fighters. This is how things are. Like, it's becoming a sport. You know what I mean? I remember back in the Pride days, dude. The tournament was done in one night, dog.
Yeah.
That's that gangster fighting.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on. That's in me. That's what I was bred on. So there's no rollover in me. I'm always gonna fight till the end. Fight for my life in that cage. So I don't know. We'll see where the checks go, but the Floyd is here, baby. Hopefully I can bring Khabib back. No, I'm just kidding.